Hey yo, this is your boy Post. You're now tuned in to hoodactionnews.com. So I've been missing in action for about a week. I was in the hospital sick, but we about to get it back popping. So I was missing for a little bit, but now we back and let's get it back popping. Now I'll do another show to show you why I was in the hospital, and I was in the hospital like twice last week, emergency room. But let's just say we all need to change our diet. Let's just say that for starters. But now, disturbing news. In Philadelphia, where I'm from, man in custody after allegedly luring girl and fired shots in home. So let's find out what happened there. That's super diabolical. You know what I mean? Extra super diabolical. So let's find out what's going on here.
The tense scene unfolded. 11, I'm Shari Williams. Rick is first. The big story on Action News tonight, the abduction of a young girl that led to a barricade situation. Tonight, that girl is safe and the suspect is in police custody. That suspect put up a fight before being taken away by police. The tense scene unfolded this afternoon in Philadelphia's Ogontz neighborhood. Action News reporter Leland Pender looking into the details for us tonight, live at Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Leland.
Shari, police are calling that 8-year-old girl very brave tonight for managing to escape a very dangerous situation. The suspect has not been identified just yet, but he is in custody. Cell phone video shows the moments Philadelphia police officers arrested a man suspected in a shooting and possible child abduction on North 20th Street in Ogontz early Tuesday evening. Chopper 6 also overhead as the man fought against officers attempting to load him into the back of a police van.
I'm still in shock.
Nylia Briggs says it was her 8-year-old niece the man lured into his home a few doors down as she was outside playing with neighborhood kids.
She went up to the door like, he pulled her in there by the arm and he locked the door.
Briggs says the man opened fire after the child's mother maced him in an effort to save her daughter.
He was shooting at my sister, her mother. She had to do everything in her power as a mother to try to get her child to safety.
Police say ultimately the 8-year-old girl managed to escape out a back door, but the man and a 5-year-old boy were still inside. Police declared a barricade situation and called the SWAT team.
Finally, after about a half hour, he exited the front door of the property voluntarily. That's where police took him into custody.
Moments later, police say the 5-year-old boy also came out unharmed. They say that boy lived at the home with the unidentified 44-year-old man.
No one else was inside the property, but police did find 4 spent shell casings from a semi-automatic weapon.
Witnesses are relieved no one was hurt.
I'm glad he got caught. So I'm feeling good.
Briggs called the situation an eye-opener for her family and others.
Hopefully, this is an opening for mothers to make sure.
Yo, hell yeah. Yo, look, let me see what this dude
Finally,
look like.
after about a half hour,
See, I got
he
short
exited
face,
the front door of the property voluntarily. That's where police took him into custody.
Moments later, police say the 5-year-old boy also came out unharmed. They say that boy lived at the home with the unidentified 44-year-old man.
Yo, now this is the one time, listen, this is the one time where I don't mind the cops whooping somebody's ass. You know what I mean? You want to abduct kids? Yeah, that it should be written in the law that if they catch you abducting kids, it's a free ass whooping. You know what I mean? Super free ass whooping out here. If you get caught abducting kids, you should be able to get your ass whooped.
No one else was inside the property, but police did find 4 spent shell casings from a semi-automatic weapon.
Witnesses are relieved no one was hurt.
I'm glad he got caught. So I'm feeling good.
Briggs called the situation an eye-opener for her family and others.
Hopefully, this is an opening for mothers to make sure you watch your kids at all times because you never know what can happen or where or how.
And tonight, the Special Victims Unit is interviewing that young girl and her mother. And right now, police are just not sure what that man's intentions might have been for allegedly luring that child inside of his home. Police say it did appear the man was high on alcohol, narcotics, or both. Here outside police headquarters, Leland Pinder, Channel 6, Action News. Shari.
Yeah, what a frightening situation. Okay, Leland, thanks.
Damn. That's crazy. Now that's in Philadelphia. That's crazy.
The big story on Action News tonight is
That is super diabolical crazy. Yo, make sure you be safe with your kids out here. Know where your kids at all times. So I'm gonna repeat that again. Know where your kids are at all times. Because every time I'm riding around Philly, right? Late at night, people's kids are out late at night. Your kids on a school night should not be out late at night. Now, what makes that super diabolical, the kid was right where they live at, just playing outside. So that right there, and like I said, that's the only time where I don't mind the cops whipping somebody's ass. You know, if you want to abduct kids, the cops should be able to whip somebody's ass. Now, let me go to this next story. This is going to be a little short show today. I seen these news stories pop up, but I wanted to find out what's going on. Wanted to find out what's going on. Let's see. Yo, now that happened in Philadelphia. Atlanta, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on in Atlanta. I noticed it's like let's just look at this. Atlanta is like God. Oh my God. That's all I can say is Atlanta is just like I remember, look, I'm talking to a Philly chick. I'm in Philly, right? We talking about moving out of Philly, right? Just somebody like I didn't really know how like that. You know, you have a conversation with people about different stuff, right? So she said, we talking about moving from Philly to Atlanta or whatever, right? And I'm telling her I moved to Atlanta a couple times, and she says, I was like, yo, the crime in Atlanta is just as bad as Philly. And she was like, Atlanta got crime, though. Atlanta got crime, though. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, Atlanta got crime. It's crime in Atlanta. Like, if you moving from Philly to Atlanta, you moving from crime to crime, from crime to crimier. Like, it's nowhere you can move that ain't no crime, I'm gonna tell you. So listen, this is in Atlanta, right? This is in that area down there. I believe it's in DeKalb County. I'm gonna let the news report play out. Now, woman who saw burglars killed. So, condolences to this lady that got killed, right? But after we watch this video, let's just come up with some safety measures that this lady may have taken to not end up with this situation. You know what I mean? Because even if you got a gun, it's a 3-on-1 situation. So I'm gonna say that before I play this. Even if you come back to the crib with a gun, you see somebody robbing your crib you see somebody robbing your house on the Ring cam. You don't want to pull up with your gun. You're still in a 3-on-1 situation. Call the cops.
DeKalb County Police are needing the public's help in identifying the morning that we want to share with you. DeKalb County Police are needing the public's help in identifying 3 suspects in a burglary that turned into a homicide. Now, around 10:36 on Saturday night, DeKalb County officers were called out to Citation Drive, and there they found 36-year-old Anna Scott. She'd been shot. She was taken to the hospital. Deputies say she died there from her injuries. But police also found her Jeep just inches away from her front porch, and it had several bullet holes in in it. Looks like she saw 3 suspects on her doorbell camera trying to break into her home. So what you're seeing right there on your screen is a screen grab of that video. Looks like one of the suspects there that were able to capture them. So take a good look if you can. Doorbell camera also shows the burglary in process, shows the moments that she pulled up onto that burglary that was happening. One of those suspects then opened fire. So deputies are asking if you have any information on this, you can reach out to police directly, or you can send an anonymous tip through the free Tip 411 app. You can also text DKPD to 847-411. That's followed by the anonymous tip. Again, what you're seeing right here, doorbell camera of that burglary in progress that happened at Citation Drive, the 3700 block of Citation Drive. A 36-year-old Anna Scott was shot in the process of this and died at the hospital. So again, police need your help in finding those responsible.
Yo, I'm trying to think.
The
did she
Philadelphia
see them?
family is resting easier tonight now that
What?
a little girl is back safe in her bed.
So listen, I'm trying to find out. Let me go back to.
Big breaking news of the morning that we want to share with you.
You go
DeKalb
back,
County
go.
police are needing the public's help in identifying 3 suspects in a burglary that turned into, or you can send an anonymous tip through the free app. You can also text DKPD to 847-411. That's followed by the anonymous tip. Again, what you're seeing right here, doorbell camera of that burglary in progress.
Now, yo, this is what I want to know, right? Now, I don't want to talk down on the dead, right? Nothing like that. But if you see somebody break into your home on the Ring camera, right? If you trying to run down on them, just say I'm on the way home, and I'm like, y'all, there's some dudes breaking in my crib. And I know that I'm just going to go home and shoot these dudes. You know what I mean? They in my crib, something like that. I'm going to pull like a couple houses down and run up on them on feet. I'm not going to pull up in the car. Like, the car is not bulletproof. If I pull up, like, if you pull up, you got to be shooting while you pulling up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bottom line, she should have called the cops, right? And let the cops get the drop on them. Like, she should have called the cops and let them get the drop. Now, this is assuming she even seen these dudes on the Ring camera before she got home, which I'm pretty sure she probably did. You know what I mean? Now, the second thing is, what are they looking for? You know what I mean? What are, like, so it's 3 of them. What are they looking for? Why did they target this specific lady's house? So I'm trying to figure out what they looking for. You know what I mean? Now, another thing. Now, I'm not saying that this happened, but when y'all smoke weed and stuff like that, you got to be careful. You can't let these criminals know where you live at when you buying weed from them and stuff like that. That's another thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know why, like, I don't know why this happened. I'm trying to figure out why this happened. Like, why would they just shoot with her pulling up like that? Now, this is like you trying to ambush somebody, right? If you trying to ambush somebody, you can't really pull up that far. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what was she if she's seen them, what was she trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, always assume that criminals have guns. So I'm gonna repeat that again. Always assume that criminals have guns. You don't never want to assume that these are just some kids breaking in your house, because 2 of them didn't have guns. Two of them ran off, and then this one knucklehead's got a gun. So always assume that these criminals have guns. You know what I mean? But yo, I don't know how the houses. Well, I do know how the houses are designed down in Georgia, but it's a lot of home invasions in Georgia. I don't know if they have steel doors on everything. You know, you gotta get some storm doors installed down south, yo. You know what I mean? Because I notice a lot of people don't have storm doors down south. You gotta have that double storm door. You gotta fortify your crib, is what I'm trying to say. I noticed these houses are not fortified like that down south. But yo, condolences. That's crazy. But let me move on to another story. If you're just tuning in, it's hoodactionnews.com. I've been missing for a week, but I'm back. I was in the hospital, man. Gotta change your diet out here. Gotta change your diet. That's all I gotta say, yo. Now, let's find out what the trappers are doing. Now, this is in Atlanta. This is down in that Atlanta too. Now, when we say Atlanta, these are the counties around Atlanta. This is another county around Atlanta. Let's see what the trappers are doing. Drug dealers. So over 1,000 pounds of drugs confiscated. So let me see. Over 1,000 pounds of drugs confiscated and murder caught on camera. So let's find out. Let's see what's going on here. So 1,000 pounds of drugs confiscated. That's crazy.
People who federal authorities say are all members of a Mexican drug cartel. Outside details of this developing story. Tyler?
Yeah, Courtney, good evening to you. Police say the woman was shot and killed after confronting burglars outside of her DeKalb County home. Take a look. You can see what appears to be tire markings on the ground right there that lead to the front yard. Investigators say the woman popped the curb and drove onto her lawn where she was shot. Police released this shocking video Monday of the moment.
So I'm gonna fast forward. This is actually them talking about the first story. Let me go to the second story. So let's see. All right, here we go.
They are all members of a Mexican drug cartel.
Damn.
Outside's Eric Mock joins us now live from outside DEA headquarters in Atlanta. Eric, put this all into perspective. What does this bust mean?
In that Georgia area, I don't know. I don't even know if the people that's from down there know this, but when you go around in them counties and stuff like that, them Mexican dudes is getting money down there. Now, a lot of them are getting money legally through contracting and building. So the Mexican dudes, y'all can sleep on them if y'all want to. The Mexican dudes in Georgia, they get money down there. It's a lot of Mexican contractors in Georgia too. So they getting money down there. They get money every way, legally and illegally. So you can sleep on them if you want to. They down there snacking and eating. Georgia.
Yeah, it is a very large bust. They telling me that the street value could be upwards of $5 million of this much meth. But they did say that it sometimes seems like just a drop in the bucket of how much is out there in Metro Atlanta. And again, yes, it was 1,000 pounds of meth in total they seized from 2 different locations here in DeKalb County. One was a home that they said was in Stone Mountain, and the other was an apartment, which they said is just a few miles away from the DEA headquarters here. Now, they said these were stash houses for the Jalisco New Generation, or CJNG cartel. That's out of Mexico. They said only Inner Circle cartel members would have had access to these stash houses. And inside, they actually found children younger than 10 years old at both locations. And they said the cartels actually do this to make it seem like it's just a normal family living at these homes. Now, they describe this cartel in particular as violent and murderous. They said it's an up-and-coming one that's actually taking a lot of power in Mexico right now. And out of these 5 cartel members they arrested, 4 were illegal migrants from Mexico. We spoke with Special Agent in charge of the Atlanta Division of the DEA, Robert Murphy, and he explains why this cartel and others are so active here in Atlanta.
The Atlanta area is a hub for the cartels. All of the Mexican cartels operate here in Atlanta for the same reasons businesses do. Great transportation routes. There's money here, and there's a population they can blend in and be seen and be able to live within.
And
Damn.
Murphy says the CJNG and other cartels stash large quantities like this in Atlanta so that it can then be distributed throughout the U.S. through our great transportation networks here. And that's what they said. Doing this type of work here is just so vital to interrupting these cartels. And they said, of course, this is going to hurt the cartel, but it's not going to stop them. And that's why they really need the public's help. You know, if there are people living in these neighborhoods right next to these stash houses, and they say if you see stuff that looks suspicious, call it into your local law enforcement or to the DEA. And you can do so always anonymously through tip lines or through Crime Stoppers. Now reporting live in Atlanta, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
Well, that's a lot of poison there. At least that won't be sold in the community. Thanks very much, Eric. Police in Columbus say a man fired shots at an Amazon warehouse and
or to the DEA.
Yo, look at this. Look at how
cartel.
much drugs this is.
So they can then be
There's money here and there's a population.
We spoke with special agent in charge.
Look, he said, look,
at both locations.
he said there's money here.
They said only inner circle cartel members in Metro Atlanta. And again, yes, it was 1,000 pounds of
yo.
Was a home that they said.
Hold up, let me go back to that pile. Look at this pile of drugs.
Of meth in total, they seized from 2 different.
Woo! Damn! Damn! Yo, they going to jail. Yo, look at this pile of drugs, yo. Yo, you know this song? Look, Jay-Z and Pusha T got a song, Drug Dealers Anonymous. This is Drug Dealers Anonymous right here. God damn. Like, damn, yo. Shoosh. Like, that's so much drugs, right? Yo, I don't want to say this. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Look, I don't want y'all to do this, but that's so much drugs that if you get booked for that, once they see you on the news getting booked for that, they like, the whole hood is like, damn, he was getting it. Damn. Like they almost put you on a pedestal for getting locked up for this much drugs. You know what I'm saying? On some street level stuff, but you listen, you definitely going to jail. So long story short, if you got this much drugs, if you get locked up for this much amount of drugs, get the soap, my man, you're going to jail. But yo, listen, I just wanted to do a couple stories. Like I said, I've been out for a week. Definitely be safe out here. Like the first case I did, you seen that dude abducting a child while he had another child in the crib. I'm glad his ass is off the streets, because I'm here in Philly. Get all them dudes off the streets. Like I said, they should sign something into law that the cops could whoop somebody's ass if they abduct a child. You know what I'm saying? Because I was waiting for the cops to stump the hell out of him. It should be written in the law that they can beat the shit out of you if they're locking you up for that. You know what I mean? Now, another thing, like, please don't try to sell this much drugs. Don't sell any drugs, but this right here, they booked this cartel. This was in Georgia. Even the news, look, even the guy on the news said, "It's money here." How you know it's money here? He said it's street money here. Even the news reporter said it's street money down in Georgia. You know what I mean? If you got this much work, you know what I'm saying? But yo, definitely be safe. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. It's hoodactionnews.com. I'm back. I'm definitely going to do a whole show to show you why I was actually sick and why I was out. And take care of your health. Health is wealth. Like they always say, health is wealth. That's the best line in the world. Health is wealth. Peace.